Hello teacher. In this video I'll talk about the lesson plan number 4. The topic is present perfect, sense and form. The grade for this lesson is first baccalaureate of 8th basic education. The duration of the class is 45 minutes. The proficiency level is elementary A2.2, the Common European Framework of Reference for Language CEFR is an international standard for describing language ability. Objectives are important for the lesson plans because they create a learning goal for students. For this reason, during this lesson, students will be able to, for grading, use the sense and form with the present perfect structure in sentences or questions. For reading, to learn new vocabulary about verbs in past participle. For listening, distinguish present perfect and simple past. For speaking, the students can speak in front of the class. The teacher corrects the good pronunciation when it's necessary. Methodology and strategies. For methodology, I use PPP, presentation, practice, and production. The teacher presents the tiger language and then gives students the opportunity to practice its own very controlled activities. The final stage of lesson gives the students the opportunity to practice the target language in fear activities which bring in other language elements. For strategy, I use visual learning. Style means that people need to see information to learn it, and this seeing takes many forms from spatial awareness, photographic memory, color, contrast, and other visual information. Also, visual can be used effectively at all grade levels and across curricular areas. In this lesson, use the PowerPoint presentation. For anticipatory set, students should know past participle of irregular verbs. The irregular verbs is very important because in previous the class, the topic was present participle. In this topic, the student practice irregular verbs. For this reason, a student need to know these verbs. And the students can recognize the structure of the sentences in present perfect tense, in affirmative, negative, and interrogative form. Main teaching input. First, grade students listen the past perfect structure, orality, give the students the opportunity to share it among their group before saying it to the rest of the class. For presentation, present my PowerPoint presentation in where explain the use for sense and for. This point is very important because I create the different concepts and importance of the for and sense. For example, for, we use for to talk about a period of time. For example, she was living here for 20 years. Alice has been married for 3 months. They have been at the hotel for a week. For sense, we use sense to talk about the specific point in time or time when the action starts. For example, she has lived here since 1819. She was have found at the school since 1965, for example. On the other hand, explain for a period of time. For example, 5 minutes, 2 weeks, 3 days, 6 months, 6 years, a long time, ever, etc. For sense, a point in past time. For example, 9 o'clock, Monday, December, in the left school at the beginning of time, or year 1994, for example. And clarification and explain differences and give more examples. For example, 4 plus period of time when we measure the duration of something or how long it lasts. It has a start point and the end point and can be used in different tenses. For science, starting point, a time, a date, when something starts in the past and continues until now. Sense is mostly used in the present perfect and present progressive tense. After that, in modeling, do the questions. How long have you? This interrogative word is used for asking the amount of time that something has been happening until now. For example, how long has your father had that car? The students can write more sentences after that answers with the partner. They can write in the notebook. For guided practice, all students will answer orality to fill the gaps. Controlled practice in PowerPoint presentation. I create some questions in PowerPoint presentations. All students can participate in this activity because I give some examples and the students can recognize when used for and since. For example, that the restaurant has been open the line this morning. The students can complete since and for. For independent practice, fear practice. Let's talk student A and B. I create this worksheet for student 8 and B. Here stay 10 questions. For example, how long have you had long short hair? And the students can answer these questions. All students can participate in this. For assessment, class participation is very important. Observation and the live feedback based on context and language. For closing review and following up, I suggest to do follow up class using a song to practice the grammatical structure. For example, Michael Bublé, haven't met you yet. This is song very enjoy and the students can hear different parts of the present perfect. This lesson plan has many advantages because all students will answer orality to fill in the gaps. Controlled practice in the PowerPoint presentation. First, I am promoting and facilitating classroom discussion can not only help students learn from one another, but also helps students understand and retain the topic better. In this lesson plan, I think is very complete and dynamic. And one negative point is the time, because only one class for explain this topic is very short. We need more class for explain more topics and more examples for this. Finally, I can use 3 supplementary material in the class. First, the worksheet when students can participate in the class. I prepare the PowerPoint presentation and finally use the enjoy song. Thank you, teacher.